Hello everybody and welcome to the Q&A for, what is it? I never know what day it is.
Yeah, because
the 6th.
The 6th.
Yeah, of February 2013 for those who watch this 50 years in the future.
Yes, because they obviously will be one of those podcast classics that, you know, our children's children will be listening to.
Well, when the world ends and, like, the only thing that's left of our past civilization is Google headquarters, and they find the server with our video on it, and they're watching it, and what? Shut up.
Because
Kyle.
Google headquarters is resistant to the, you know,
just like Twinkies.
Nuclear holocaust.
Twinkies and roaches are going to be the only thing left. Okay. First question by, Moy Baran 300. Hey guys, do you know if magic can be used without a staff? Because my battle mage swag will be effed up if not.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Alright, so, tough one since we don't exactly know what all the classes are going to be and what skills they're using, but based on what we've seen already, like with the Dragon Knight and, what is the other one? The Templar? No.
I know there's only like two of
Templar?
them right
It is
now.
Templar, isn't it?
I think so.
It looks like some classes will have spells available just because that's their class. You'll see like mage-type classes that will have spells, but other ones that may not, that are more melee or maybe even archery focused, like the Dragon Knight.
From what we've been reading, you were telling me the Dragon Knight doesn't seem to have any like straight-up casting like
Yeah, it didn't
spells.
seem to have actual spells like shooting a fireball or anything like that. You see that fiery reach thing, and what is it, like spiky armor or something, some kind of flame armor or something. I don't know. It just seemed to have more what's the word I'm looking for? Not so much CC, but more utility based, kind of controlling the situation type abilities. So I guess it's going to be based on the class that you pick. I mean, this is what is going to make having classes to begin with essential, I guess.
Yeah, this is what scares me, is like I could roll as a Dragon Knight, and then later on when I'm at level cap, I can't like all of a sudden want to be like a battle mage type character, and that's what's scaring me, is this whole class restriction, and why I've been super reserved about classes from the start. They're gonna make me fall not so much into a role, like I can still be a Dragon Knight DPS like anyone else and heal like anyone else and all that stuff, but I can't like cast a fireball, you know. I can't have the basic spells that other mages have. I don't want to be able to master it or something, you know. I guess other classes should have preference on that, but
then that's where, you know, the weapons actually come in to view or whatever. So if you do want to use a staff, or you do want to cast spells but you have none in your class, you do still have spells.
You can use like
or you still
staves.
have staffs.
Yeah.
And then there are those different types of stabs, like I mentioned before, the whole fire, frost, lightning,
and
heals.
we can level that.
Yes.
Right.
And hopefully you'll see more than just two types of skills on that staff. There should be different types, and then again, those will also evolve into more complicated skills.
Yeah, so, okay, the RPer in me doesn't mind that too much. Like, if I'm choosing a Dragon Knight from the start, and I know, okay, I'm not going to be able to shoot fireballs from my hands. So basically, my knight here isn't, you know, adept in magic. He's not a good magic user. I know later on that even though I have that disability, I could compensate with, like, a staff and start leveling that up and stuff.
Yep.
Which is good. It's better than the alternative, which is not having it at all.
Yeah,
but,
completely melee. I mean, that would get kind of boring, I guess.
But yeah, I mean, I've played that in my Skyrim game where I concentrated mostly on having a good health pool, good stamina, heavy armor and stuff, and later on I just kept a staff with me. I never leveled my Conjuration in the Skyrim game so far. But I would always have staves where I can like summon Dramoras and stuff like that.
I've seen that gameplay too.
You know, so we'll still be able to do stuff like that in the Elder Scrolls Online, which is neat. But yeah, this whole class system, I just hope they have a lot of classes to choose from, because I want to do a bunch of hybrid crazy stuff. And
there needs to be like around 8.
Yeah.
Between 6 and 8 would be medium range for me.
Or maybe as many as they had in Oblivion and Morrowind.
Oh, Jesus.
They had that list.
Make your own.
From.
Screw it. Make your own. Massive. Just make your own. Name it whatever
class.
you want.
You know what? I would love if they had. That should be like the extra option,
But there
custom
won't.
class.
I don't think there will be.
I know there probably won't be, but they should. ZeniMax, you should. ZeniMax.
All right, next question. What is this from? This is a message on YouTube.
On the tubes.
Philbo8. Philbo? I hope.
Philbo Baggins, what do you have to say?
When will the beta invitations be sent? We don't know. So that's done there.
How many times has that question been asked, man?
So hopefully within the next month. I'm gonna say the closed beta will be out before the end of March, definitely. I would say.
Just follow the Facebook page or something. They're gonna notify us whenever that happens, so that when we don't get in, we can get all pissed off. And I would rather be blissfully ignorant. If I don't get in, I don't want to know that I didn't get in.
I don't want to know. I don't want people to say, "Hey, you are on that NDA. You're not even supposed to let me know."
Exactly. So just keep it to yourself, which is no bragging.
All right, and in Elder Scrolls Online, will you be able to mix and match armors? For example, steel helmet with dwarven armor.
Oh yeah, we've talked
which
about
is yes,
that.
you can mix any type of freaking armor you want.
Any weapon, any armor, anytime.
Yep. So
God
for me, I think
bless.
I'm going to be probably mainly leather or medium armor, whatever you want to call it, with like maybe a cloth or light armor cowl,
It's
something like that.
Argonian style.
Full Argonian
armor.
thief.
Let's be honest,
My
Kyle.
Nightblade.
How many classes and
I
stuff
don't
did
know.
you go
I'm
through?
gonna end up being a Breton.
You're gonna change it.
Mage or something. You know me. Jesus, I switched so many times before Guild Wars 2 came out.
You're a flip-flopper.
From a Mesmer to a Ranger to a... But I did stick with the Azura from the start.
You did, so chances are you will stay
So
Argonian.
I will be Argonian. As to what class I'm going to play, have no clue. Was that it for that question? Okay. All right, next question from Khalil.
Khaleesi. Khaleesi herself is messaging us. Please read.
Will I be able to do the main quest line with friends by my side? I'd love that. Isn't that partially one of the reasons some people wanted to be able to play it with their friends? So we found out for sure just recently that we will not be able to play the main quest line with friends. Again, son of a bitch! So we don't really agree with their decision to do this. At least it should be an option whether or not you want someone to play with you.
I see it as laziness. It's laziness. There's no excuse for it other than they're being lazy and they don't feel like having that ability to where you can invite a friend to play your story and stuff. And this is coming from a guy, by the way. I want to play the main story completely alone.
Of course.
I want to do the main storyline completely solo. So guys, when we're playing the game together and we're tearing it up in the ShoddyCast guild, yeah, don't ask to join my storyline because I want that to be my single player experience. But if people want to invite their friends to go do that, that's the whole reason. It's the Elder Scrolls but online, so we should be able to play with friends. But at the same time, you're like, okay, well, I could still adventure and do everything else, all the side quests and stuff, but I can't do the main story with them.
Right. And we also found that most of your main storyline is actually going to be in Cold Harbor. So it seems like anytime you have a main quest to do, you'll somehow go into Cold Harbor, which is the Oblivion plane of Molag Bal.
Yes. Which
is basically just an evil, post-apocalyptic looking Nirn, basically, is what you're going to see. So I'm assuming that has something to do with your soul being missing and everything, and that'll give you the ability to go back and forth between Cold Harbor and back to Nirn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they're going to work the lore there. I know in Oblivion we were just able to stroll on in through the Oblivion gates.
Or maybe you're like that chick from that Fringe show where she can switch between different universes and stuff like that.
I haven't seen Fringe.
Going sci-fi on you guys.
It's lost on me.
But anyways, it is kind of disappointing that they're just completely removing the option to do your main quest line with friends.
Yeah, no.
I mean, Guild Wars 2 does it. Why can't ESO do it?
Yeah, no, I don't.
But I'm sure there's some reason. They'll probably go in this whole detailed reason as to why, but I guess we were kind of just going on the terms of it being laziness.
Laziness. I think that's what it is. And that's why ZeniMax doesn't like us at all and doesn't post our videos
I know,
anymore.
right? They hate us, apparently. For some reason. I don't know why. We turn so many minds for their game.
Well, yeah,
But-
we're informing people about their game, but we've always been honest too. So if they're being lazy, and which they most definitely are here.
Yeah, wait till Friday, then the honesty will truly come out.
Oh, guys, Friday's episode is going to be a head turner. It's going to be an interesting
it's
one.
going to be a half bitch fest and half, whatever else. But it's going to be worth watching, so definitely tune in Friday. All right. Question from Andrew S., who is an avid Twitter follower. Do you know any info about adventure zones? I hope it will be an opportunity to visit enemy territories for adventure purposes.
Okay, what does define adventure zones here? What are those?
Adventure zones, from what we gather, will be mostly a post-cap endgame area for your character to continue leveling your weapons and your armors and your skills that you haven't maxed out. Because we all know from past episodes of us and other information online that reaching the level cap of level 50 is just the beginning of your character's customization.
Yeah.
So these adventure zones will be specifically tailored areas to continue leveling your character. And they are supposed to be areas that will continually be updated by ZeniMax. Hopefully we'll see bi-weekly content updates.
That would be great. Could you imagine an Elder Scrolls game where you get extra adventures and quests every other week or so?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Now, I don't know if adventure zones will actually be quest-based. I'm probably assuming it's not going to be quest-based.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I'm thinking it'll be more like just a wide open wilderness with different types of mobs, different experiences for you to
kind of
have.
like a Guild Wars, how they did their events and stuff like that in Guild Wars.
But probably, yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing like those renowned type events that you see in Guild Wars 2 in the adventure zones. Just like certain events happen wherever you're wandering by. Be it some village being taken over by those.
I feel like adventure zones are going to be like purgatory. You're just going to be going through the motions of killing stuff, like chores and stuff like that.
I wouldn't say
like
that.
dailies, and it won't be like story. I want whenever I'm performing an action in an Elder Scrolls game, it has to be driven by some story. There's got to be a reason behind why I'm doing this. And that's why I kind of want it to be more like quests and stuff, or little caves that you stumble across with crazy adventures and stuff.
Well, I'm sure they're going to be quests, just like there's quests out in the open world. You can be doing a quest and you won't even realize you're doing it. You're just going around exploring a cave and killing a bunch of vampires, and then you kill them all, including the vampire lord, and some dude who was captured in a cave or something gives you a quest reward for letting him out.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I wouldn't mind that. Like a bunch of that like scattered around, like crazy little things like that.
But as for like quest... I don't want to say quest hubs because they don't like have quest hubs, but as for like seeing just NPCs scattered around that can give you quests, probably not.
Yeah, like little towns, yeah, and I don't mind that. I would want what you just said. Basically, vast openness. There doesn't even need to really be any towns or something like that. Yeah. Just straight up exploration where I'm exploring this cave, and like you just said, I find out that I'm actually part of this quest, or I approach this keep and this guy's like, hey, guy, I used to live in that keep, and these guys drove me out and killed my family. That was a Skyrim quest, and you have to go do something, about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking just the name alone, Adventure Zone. It's gonna be some kind of open wilderness type plain or whatever, with a bunch of mountains and beauty, scenery everywhere, and a bunch of shit to kill, and hopefully quests and stuff. So that's that.
Yes.
Basically, it's end game content for the most part. And I believe this will be the last question of the day from Thomas on Twitter.
Frequent Twitterer.
Yeah. How do you think mobile weapons will be implemented? Stuff like the quote-unquote Insta-bridges from Josh here.
The Insta-bridge.
From the Factions trailer and catapults.
I'm so glad you used my little Insta-bridge term there. I hoped it would catch on.
Being that they showed stuff like that, I'm sure we're going to see something along those lines. I want to see a bunch of different siege weapons and stuff like that. Even if it's just like putting up ladders on walls.
Yeah.
More than just busting down walls with catapults. We know there's going to be catapults and siege weapons.
That, yes.
Stuff that you've seen in Guild Wars 2 and their World versus World. But we want to see more than that. We want to see a lot more options. Like, we discussed starving them out by capturing the farms around forts and stuff like that. But also, like we were also mentioning in the previous thing, with like sending an Argonian under some underwater passage to open the gates from the inside. Something like that. We want to see different things.
Or maybe send him to the wall with his grapple and rope, and
there
he
you
can climb it by himself or something like that. Yeah, I'd like to see some more mobile stuff because it would feed into the whole, players by themselves could make a change. But yeah, Insta-Bridge would be awesome. Those things look crazy.
And then cutting the rope to
I want to do that too.
Pendulum
Go
over.
Tarzan, like the guy did in the Breton did in the Alliance trailer.
I'm also wondering if there's going to be a... You guys can talk amongst yourselves while we're talking about this. I wonder if there's going to be like throwable weapons, like you saw in the trailer too.
Oh yeah, how he's going all Altair on those guys, throwing his knives and stuff into their chest.
I don't actually think there's going to be throwable weapons. I think it's going to be an actual skill.
Yeah, there's never been any throw weapons in test games unless
it's going to be called hidden blades, and you just like take blades out and you throw like chakrams and stuff, like Xeno Warrior Princess, and you start throwing stuff and yeah. It's just our imaginations going.
Yeah, but anyway, I'd better play out exactly like that Daggerfall guy was able to do in the trailer. I better be able to fling on ropes and do all sorts of crazy acrobatics. But yeah, I'd like to see Insta-Bridge.
Yeah, we at least want Insta-Bridges and the rope climbing. You guys better not have just been like throwing that food at us and then taking it away before we can have a bite.
Yeah, come on, ZeniMax.
Alright, so that's going to be it for this episode. Guys, don't forget to like if you enjoyed our ramblings.
Yeah, that's certainly what they are, the ramblings.
Ramblings.
This has been the ShoddyCast. I have been Josh.
And I've been Kyle.
We'll catch you later.
Bye.